to be in years. So I'm going to go ahead and make a new page and say now 11/4. Just if anyone looks at the, if you look at the PDF that we make. All right, so this, yeah.
Can I have $1,000?
No. I mean, you can if you go earn it.
What about from you?
Nope.
Last year, Mr. Hudson.
What was that?
I invested in stocks last year. Well, my dad informed me invested in some gas station.
Nice. I was about to, if you want to play around with the stock market, there are also like kind of game sort of things online where you get fake money and you invest it in like real stocks, but you don't actually like, you don't get money, but it really tells you what would have happened. So if you want to play around with like, because some people get more interested in this as we go, if you want to mess with like, what if I had money to invest in the stock market? You can go do some research and find there's some games online that you can do that with.
Either gain money or lose money.
Yeah, like you're not going to stay the same.
Like that's where you really gamble.
Yeah, it is a huge. Now, depending on like how much you trust what the company is doing, like I have a friend who has money invested in a skateboard company, but it like he skateboards. It's not a ton of money, but it's a company out of California. He knows that they will probably be successful because people skate out in California. Like so, but if you went back 20 years ago and you invested in Apple, Apple has been very successful.
That's why a lot of people say if I could go back in time, I'd invest in Apple.
Because
You'd be rich.
No, when Apple started off, didn't they say like 11 million if you invested in it?
I don't know, but we need to get down to business so we can make sure that we get at least all the way through this lesson because we got to keep moving. We got to speed up a little bit, and this is my fault, not your guys' fault. So when we look at a situation, we have to identify all of the things that we know. And 2 years, I hate when they don't give it to you as a number, but they will do that on standardized tests to try to hide values. They will write it out verbally as opposed to giving you the number. So if I were to set up my equation, remember like we did right above here, our equation is interest equals principal times rate times time. Now what are the two specific things that I actually have to check on before I can plug them into that formula? Like, let's just start using cards actually. Not in here at the moment. Yeah, you're back there. Samantha,
What?
if I start trying to fill in my formula, do I know what the interest that I make is going to be? No. No, not yet. So I can just say I. Do I know the principal? Now, can you remind us what principal means?
The principal is like the initial investment.
I love it. Initial investment. So do we know our principal?
Yes.
What is it?
$500.
$500. Then, Dom, do we know our rate?
Yes.
What is it?
1.2%.
Now, is that what I plug into the...
Per.
So, I agree, and this is what I hate about how they give it to you. And a lot of times they'll say you have an interest rate of 1.2%, but this is not a rate right now. It's a percent rate. We need it in rate form. How do I get it to rate form? Divide by 100, and this becomes 0.012. Wait. If you divide by 100, it shifts your decimal 2 places left. Noah, do I know how long my money sits in the account?
Yeah, it's 2 years.
It is 2 years. So setting up everything can help you, because what we have to answer here is, are these statements true or false? This is also why I don't use I's. And especially in this font, I hate this I in this font. So this I is standing for how much interest you made. Could we figure it out?
Yeah.
Yeah. We can come over here and compute this and figure out how much was your interest.
$12.
It is $12 when I compute this.
Yeah.
So is I equal to 12?
No. Doesn't I stand for interest?
I is interest, not interest rate. It's interest earned.
Oh.
The I is like interest money.
Okay, then yeah.
So be careful. Remember, our R deals with the interest rate. Our I deals with the interest money made. So this is 12. Is our P 1.2%? Elena? What does P stand for?
Progressing principles.
Is our principal 1.2%?
Our principal's Mr. Sure. No.
Shh. You're funny, but hang on to it.
Wait, Colin, you're in this class?
I just transitioned to Excel.
So Elena, if P stands for principal, and Sam told us principal is money we start with, could money we start with be 1.2%? No, it'd have to be money. This is a percent value. It's not even a dollar value. So this is definitely not true. Solomon, not in here now. Ashley is our R. I hate saying our R. Is our R 500? No, because what does R stand for? It's the rate. That 500 was dollars. And is our T 2 Anish? Yep. Our time is 2 years. So 1 and 4 are true. 2 and 3 are false.
That confused me when you said hour R. I'm like, what?
Our
I know,
R.
it sounds weird.
Yeah. How does simple interest formula relate to the percent equation? So let's just write these out then. My percent equation was that part equals percent times whole. And our interest equation is interest equals, I'm going to move some things around.
How come Fridays feel longer than normal days, but they're actually way shorter?
Because you got, who was going to say what?
Because, you know, it's short, but it actually feels really long.
It's your anticipation of it.
Yeah.
It's like why the drive on the way to Disney feels a lot longer than on the way back home. Because you're anticipating, you're excited that you're about to have the weekend. So all day you're like, oh my gosh, it's a short day. I can't wait for the day to be over, and it makes it feel longer. It's It's either it's perception and perspective in a way.
Why does that brain hate us?
You what?
I feel like it's the morning because we're in math.
Right, and that's awkward too because your schedule. So if I compare this, would the interest that I earn be a part?
Yes.
Yeah, well, it wouldn't be the whole. Would a percent be a rate?
Yes.
Yeah.
Would the whole, Sean, you with me?
Yes, sir.
Would the whole be my principal?
Yes.
But I'm missing this T.
Yeah.
So if I want to relate how that percent equation actually compares.
You're missing the rest of your teeth.
So if I'm missing the T, you're funny. I didn't understand what you meant. That was really funny. If I'm missing the T from this equation, there's not something else multiplied up here, then what would the blue equation actually be giving me? What do you think, Julian?
What?
Exactly. If you don't know my question, it's an issue because you were talking. Andrew? No. What would the blue equation actually represent compared to our interest formula?
How to find the time.
Kind of. We could use it to do that. Your brain's actually working harder than mine is because I hadn't even thought about that. Monisa?
I equals R times P.
Interest doesn't equal just R times P. It has to be, and this is commutative. So we're used to P times R times T. I just move this so it lines up with your percent and your whole. If I do times 1 here, does that change anything?
Yes.
Does multiplication by 1 change anything? No. Sam?
So the 1 relates to the T because 1 year relates to that.
So, what I want us to recognize here is the percent equation, and you can just put percent EQ if you want. The percent equation gives the interest from 1 year. The only thing that changes when we go to the interest formula is that now, however many years we have, we get to multiply by that. But here's the thing about simple interest. If you know how much you make the first year, that's how much you make every year.
Well, I thought it changed.
Not if you leave your account alone. Now, what you might be thinking about is compound interest.
What's that?
So, compound interest is where I'm trying to think if I can model this somehow. So Whitney invests $100 with me, right? So now you're gonna have to let your brain think about different values. So she invests $100, and it's in compound interest. Now, don't get your brain too stuck on this. So after a year, if Whitney wanted to get her money back, she'd now have $100, let's say, and $10. Now, if she leaves all of that in there, this is where compound interest is actually better if you're investing. If she leaves all of that in there, now she gets interest on the entire 110. So now instead of getting $10 the next year, she might get $12 extra. So now she's got 122. And now I look at that whole 122 to give her more interest. So now she's going to get, instead of an extra $12, she gets an extra $18. And now I look at all of that together. So the difference between simple and compound is what we look at as your principal amount to make the interest. In a simple interest formula, you only ever make interest on what you invested. In a compound interest formula, and I might as well show you the visual so it makes sense. In a compound interest formula, you make money off of everything in the account, not just what you started with. So here's the big difference. Simple interest. Start with $100, you make $2 every year, right? It's going to stay the same. Compound interest, and I love that you guys are interested enough that I'm ending up showing and teaching things that I did not plan on. If my computer ever loads, compound interest is going to group these together to make the interest for the next year, so you'll make more than $2.
So you just keep taking it out and putting it back in?
Kind of. So if you wanted to turn a simple interest account into compound interest, that's essentially what you would have to do.
That's really
So you
smart.
just keep taking it out and then putting it back.
Yeah, because you can get even more money.
So
But do they not?
this is how compound interest works.
Do they not allow you to do that?
So you invest $100. I'm gonna teach you guys about this. I don't think it's a 7th grade standard, but because we're the Accelerate 7 class, we're gonna take it as like an exemplary opportunity. You start with $100. Your first year, you make $2. The next year, you make interest off the entire $102. So now you make $2.04. The next year, you make interest off everything in the account. And now instead of making $2.04, you make $2.08.
Oh, that makes so much sense right now.
So every year you move forward, I like your pun. Every year you move forward, you're making a little bit more than the previous year.
That's what I do.
So
But that's doing too much just for $2.
now this is also why credit cards are so flippin' dangerous. If I put $1,000 on my credit card and I don't pay the interest, that then starts to roll and get more and more interest. Every month I don't pay, my interest gets more and more and more because the balance that I carry keeps getting bigger, the amount that I owe. So you gotta pay off those credit cards or else you're gonna end up paying a bunch of extra money that you shouldn't, like you don't need to. Sean?
So now for investing in stock markets, are those like the same thing? Like, are they?
No, they're completely different. We can't really even talk about stocks because there's no set rule for how they work. It changes with how many people are like buying the product or how many people like the product.
So the company is.
Yeah, exactly. It deals with the company's success.
So stocks then right now, like they have like, or does it just depend how?
Each stock is its own individual, like every stock has its own price.
Oh, okay.
So if we can get through this lesson, I might pull up some data about the stock market. Jeremiah?
The only reason I know about stock and stuff like that is because of games. Like
Yeah.
GTA, I
Yep.
know it's a bad game and all
Okay.
that, but it teaches me about it.
Yeah,
We
kind of.
also read a book about that.
'Cause you can be a CEO in the game and then do all that
Right.
stuff.
So, who has done their 3-3 homework? Yeah, you've probably seen that I tell you this in your homework because we didn't necessarily get a chance to get to it before you guys did it. The balance on an account, and we don't mean like balance, the balance of an account is everything in it. So it's just the total account. So to find the balance, it's what we start with plus what we made. So if we come back up here, how much had we made from our initial $400 investment? We made 120. So if I want to find out the balance up here, I would take, Sam,
You do 400 plus 120.
and we get
520.
520 as the new balance.
Yeah, you're saying. I should know that.
Wait.
Yeah.
It says go to the top and then take the balance in 3 years.
What?
It says. Oh, wait. No, it says go to the top and notate what the balance will be after 3 years.
So,
6 years.
We'll just divide it by 2.
that's not what I'm talking about. Not that problem. This was a separate aside. Now we're going to go to the top, but we're talking about this one.
Oh, that makes sense.
So, our initial principal was 100.
Yeah.
What is our interest after 3 years? Go ahead, Sam.
It's $6.
6 is our interest. So, our balance is $106.
That's pointless. Like, you're gonna just get $2 every year. That's doing too much.
Is it more than you would have?
I mean, yeah, but I can easily.
And can you spend your money while it's in the bank?
Yeah.
No.
Wait, oh, you can take it out though.
You could take it out and then
You
spend it.
withdraw
But
it.
here's why a lot of people put their money in the bank. So they don't spend it. And then, on top of not spending it, if I can get a little kickback, why not, dude? It's free money.
Free $2 though. I can go make.
You're going to get to the point where if you can save $2, you will. If I offer you a can of soda for $1, or I offer you a can of soda for $3, they're both the same can of soda. What you going to buy?
The $1.
Yeah. But that's only a difference of $2, Jeremiah. But it's still $2, right? So you can't argue it doesn't matter, because it does. It's money. Gwen.
Example, like.
Shh. Hold up. Gwen.
You guys know Animal Crossing, right?
I love it.
I don't, but that's okay.
Continue, please.
In New Leaf, you become the mayor, and I just recently found this out. You can also earn money for just leaving a bunch of bells in your bank account. So like, take out like all your bells or half of your bells. Put it in your
Are you
bank,
saying
and then
bells or
That's
bills?
the bells.
I know. I
That's
can't click one.
Okay, continue. I'm trying to hang on.
And like, what's cool about it is that you don't get just like maybe 2 bells. You get about 600
What?
dollars.
Money's crazy.
Bells. You get about 600 bells or
Bills or bells?
Bells.
It's bells. Like
Bells.
the bell you get ring, ding.
and like
Shh, hold up. I think they've written in interest in this game.
yeah, and like you have like that's like being an adult. Like you have to pay off your rent, like pay off like what else? Like you have to pay off like your house.
I need to talk to you at some point about this because if I can tweak my lessons to reflect a game that kids play, that would be sweet.
Mr. Hudson, buy GTA. You have to pay
No,
bills.
I don't spend my time playing video
But
games.
you have to pay bills and
All right.
stuff like that.
Bring it back together. You are about to realize how easy this really is and how much time the formula can save you. We ready to move on, guys?
Yes.
If we got time at the end of class, I want to hear more about it, but I want to make sure we get through this. You're okay. You're okay. So, 0 years, and people struggle with the idea of 0 years, 0 time. All 0 means is initial, start. So, at 0 years, how much money would we have earned? 0. Thank you. You guys are much quicker than in past. So, my new account balance, well, it's just what? No. If I have the account, yeah, it's got to have the balance. So we deposited $2,500. That's my balance. Now,
We need to know. Wait, I got this. We need to do 2,500 times 0.035.
what about the time?
It's just one.
Ah, if my time is only 1, I don't really have to care about it. So if you want to have the formula so you know what we're doing, we're going to do 0.035 times the 2,500, and we earn
87.50 cents. $87.50. Yeah.
So my new account balance is 2,587. Ooh, that's a wrong comma location.
Oh my god.
You just earned $87. You put in your money.
That's
in
pretty
for a year.
Oh my
Well,
god.
that's also is a year if you think about it.
Anish?
I was thinking, you know, you have to turn the percent into a decimal. I was thinking it's like it's if you're turning into a decimal, you can just it's like 700 times 3.5 times 1, but divide by 100.
So you're doing the same thing, just at a different part in the process. That's fine if that's how you want to do it. Just understand you're doing the same thing. So you really are still turning it into a decimal. You just did it last. Honestly?
Okay, here, an easy way to do this, you don't have to keep going back and doing the 0.035 times 2,500 times whatever your years is. Just find what it is for 1 year, which is 87.50, and then multiply it by whatever the years is.
Exactly. If I made this much this is why it's simple. And this is why she can talk so fast. It does the same thing every year. So what's another 87.50? 175. Hey guys, I'm going to make my life really easy. If that's what I made in 2 years, in 4 years, I'll just have double of that.
350.
So the in-between, that's the...
Riley to the office, please. Riley.
I mean, she's the only Riley in the school.
Yeah.
Or no, there's a Riley Cannon too. Kylie's sister is Riley.
No, she's not in school.
I
She
don't-
doesn't go here.
Oh, maybe she did. Maybe she was 8th grade last year. I don't know. You guys all mixed together.
She's been gone for
I saw one of my students who's like a high school sophomore, and I thought like she was still here.
Oh my god.
All the years run together, and I'm not that old. So imagine in 10 years you're gonna come back and be like, "Who are you?" No, I can never forget you guys. 262.50.
You probably
Thank
said that to
you.
the last people.
And I know the balances, but I can't speak numbers. So.
You can't speak numbers.
I can't speak English, right?
So my balances are doing the same thing. Every balance is just increasing by the amount that the interest was. So now this becomes 2,675.
No, wait, that's not right. It's right. That's right.
Here's the thing, and I was waiting for somebody to make this mistake. I do not take this amount and add 175 to it.
You had 175
I-
2,500.
Because we're looking for balance, it's the beginning account principal plus the interest earned. So be careful, it's not 2587 plus the 175. It's still your initial 2,500 plus the 175. So this should be 2675. And I'm going to rewrite this out just to remind us. This, again, is 2,500 plus our 262.50, which gives us...
2,760.50. And I wanted to mention something else.
Okay.
If you looked at the new balance account and looked at each of the, from year 1 to year 4, all of the numbers, you'll see it goes to, and then 5, 6, 7, 8, 8, 7, 6, 5. That's really cool, I think.
What? I think you're seeing something that we don't, but I want to see it. Say it again. Hold up. Shh, shh.
Should I show you?
Quiet. Yeah, you can come up. You guys are always welcome to come up here. This is not like my space. If you want to explain something, come up and take
Okay,
over.
so you have 2, 2, and 2. Then you have 5, 6, 7, 8,
Oh.
and then 7.
That's just a really cool, like... Well, we might be able to find, like, a mathematical reason why that's happening.
Why is that in there? Because we double theory. Why is that in there? That's how that works. And then it also goes
You made a note.
756.
I did. I saw that right before I erased it. All right. So, sorry, Jeremiah.
I did something completely different than you guys.
What'd you do?
I just took my answer and added 87 every
Yeah,
time.
that works. Because all you did was add one more year of interest.
Yeah.
And then add one more year of interest. And then add one more year. Like, that's fine.
And so on.
So, now this flips the problem around.
But you did this on the 3-3.
So, a new bank customer is going to deposit $5,000 into a CD, which is a certificate of deposit, which means that you get a piece of paper that says you have money locked up in the bank, essentially. And it says if you wait a certain amount of time, you will have this much money. But if you take it out early, you have to pay a penalty.
What?
Yeah, now you'll still, this is where a bank account versus a certificate of deposit are two different things. This is not a bank account. This is a CD, a certificate of deposit. You don't even need an account to have a CD. I can just walk into the bank, hand them $2,000 and say, what CDs do you have available? And not like compact discs. We're talking about certificate of deposit. They'll have different accounts for how long you want to leave your money there. You could have a 1-year CD. You could have a 20-year CD. So a lot of times grandparents, when kids are born, will get them a certificate of deposit for like 18 years or something so that they can give it to the kid and say, if you leave it in the account until it's matured, that's what the money is called, matured once it's done. If you leave it there, then you can have this much. But if something happens, like an emergency, you could go get the money. You just won't get as much as you could if you wait.
Grandparents did
I have one of those.
Some, I mean, certificate of deposits are not. So here, I realize that I have to explain lots to you guys. My teaching has changed a lot in 5 years. That's why I'm kind of chuckling to myself. A CD is not as popular anymore because percent rates are down. So to get a CD, you'd have to say goodbye to your money for like 5 or 10 or 15 years or however long you want to. And right now, the CD rates are not great because the market is down. So back when I was a kid and my grandparents looked at doing this, the percent rates were a lot higher. It made more sense to do that. Now a lot of people just like put the money in the stock market or something and they risk it. They try to make more money. Sean?
How do you know when the stock market, or how does the stock market go up and down?
When people spend money.
So the more money
So
they
Christmas
spend,
goes down.
So if
It works.
go ahead if you know.
So you buy shares in a company, that's the stock market, and if that company, like if they have lots of sales, like lots of people spend money into it and they're successful, then a part of that, which is your shares in the company, you get that much money. But if they suppose go down and like are unsuccessful, they're losing money, so you lose money along with them.
Until you sell your stock.
Yeah.
If I start to see that the company is losing money and I'm like, I'm out, forget it, give me my money back. And you just give them their stocks back and they give you your money back.
Yeah.
So now hold up, this would not be money, that would be stocks. I would get my money back.
I'm broke.
So, but here's the dangerous thing. So I, like it was a bag on fire, got rid of my stocks and I said, give me my money back. What if then, a week later,
It went up so high
that company actually becomes viral and turns around and skyrockets? This just happened, but the other way around. A company, a very big company, just took a major hit in the stock market due to one of their devices. Samsung. Samsung's. It doesn't work if we all talk at the same time. So, Dom.
So Samsung made a Galaxy Note 7, right? And let's just say it was pretty defective in Kaboom.
It's not pretty defective. They've had like
That's
7
not defective,
in the
but I mean,
world.
It's not good.
So what if you look at percent-wise?
Well, most people don't.
Very, 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 very small chance. Yeah, but the ones that are defective, it's a very small chance that it would explode.
Some of them were defective. The problem was
Where the
there
battery
was
came
something
from.
That, like when you charge a battery, after some time it's like can't take any more.
Yeah, it's the
and
cycle.
They didn't have anything to stop it from charging, so it just exploded when it like overdosed on power.
That wasn't the only reason. We don't have time to go deep into that. But here's what happened. People freaked out. People that own Samsung stock. And they said, if their phones are exploding, they must not be that great of a tech company. I'm going to sell my stock. So here's the trickle or like the snowball effect. Noah is smart. He sees that Samsung is having issues, so he sells his stock while Samsung is still a good price. When Noah sells his stock, that minutely brings down the price of the stock. Monis is friends with Noah. And Noah says, hey, by the way, I sold my Samsung stock. And Monis says, well, crap, so should I. Monis sells her stock. Then Ozzy's friends with Monis. He sells his stock. As more people sell their stock, the price starts to go down. As the price starts to go down, people that don't even know them say, crap, what's going on? The price is going down. I'm going to sell my stock. As people sell their stock, the price continues to drop because if there's more stock available to buy, the price is cheaper. If there's less stock available to buy, the price is higher. So if the price is way up here, there's very little stock to buy. As the price goes down, there's more and more stock available to buy because it's cheap. That's how it works. We gotta get through this. Sorry, we're gonna refocus for at least 5 minutes. If this person wants $5,500 in their account at the end.
This problem is there. It doesn't tell you the percent rate.
That's what I wanted.
I've been trying to do this.
We don't have enough information here. This I intentionally left here like this because you're missing the manager's poster. So you would need to know what's on the poster. Do you know what's on the poster? Because no one does.
No, but even if you were missing the rate, if you had either the rate or the time.
But we're trying to solve for time.
We can't.
Oh yeah, then you don't have. Okay.
So here's what they didn't tell you. The manager's poster says that this CD account is getting 5% interest.
Are you sure?
I'm positive. I know the manager.
What's your bestie?
He's totally my bestie.
So what's his name?
Javier.
What's his middle name?
Where's Javier?
Julius.
Pablo.
Javier, Julius, Pablo, Picasso.
Also,
Set up your formula. I equals P times R times T. The interest will be principal times rate times time. How much interest would he have needed to earn here? Mr. Hoover? If he started with 500 and wants to close the account when it has 5,500, how much would he have earned in interest?
$25.
You're thinking way too hard. If we start here
$250.
and end there, $500 would be the amount of interest.
There you go, buddy.
The principal, look, we all have brain farts occasionally. It happens. I seriously think with like something to do with the air or the every now and then we just like our brain doesn't work right. The principal. Ellie, what would be our principal here? $5,000. Julian, what's our rate? 5%, but what's that make our rate? Because we can't use percent for the rate. 0.05. You guys got to give your peers a chance to think. A lot of you are like, hey, pass it out. Like, you haven't even given them time to think. And then the time we don't know. This leads us into our equation work. Is there anything that I can do on the right side to simplify? Manasa?
Okay, so I'd want to get t alone so that I can get what equals t. So I would first divide by 5,000 on both sides.
But what about the 0.05?
I'll do that next.
Don't do that next. Now, here's the thing. Here's the thing. You could. I'm not saying that you couldn't do what you were just about to do. But Mathematically, the better, not right or wrong, the better way to do this multiplication since we can.
But didn't you say there was no better way yesterday?
And then we divide.
Yesterday, we only had one number attached to the t. Now we've got multiple numbers over here. So, 5,000 times 0.05, what is that? 250. So this is really 250 times t. So now, Manasa, and you guys don't have to rewrite this step, this is now 500 equals 250 times t.
Oh, see.
Ellie?
You divide by 250, which is 2. 2, yes.
2.
So
2.
English.
So, the time he would need to leave his money in the account is 2 years. It has to be in years.
So if you're in a stock and you only invest your money for like a month, will you not make any money?
Stocks aren't determined by how long it's there.
Sorry.
It's determined.
If you put it in your bank account with the interest, you only leave it in for a month.
Correct. The amount of money you earn will be directly correlated, like proportional to the amount of time you leave it in the account.
So you'll still make money if you only leave it in for a month?
But not very much. The longer you leave it, the more you make.
Oh, I thought you were saying that you had to leave it in for a year or no money.
Well, so this problem, he wants to make $500. So he has to leave it there for 2 years. But he doesn't have to leave it there for 2 years. He just chooses to make $500.
Oh, okay, that makes more sense.
Now, here's the problem though. You're getting confused between an account and a certificate of deposit. A certificate of deposit normally has certain rules that you're supposed to leave it in until an ending date. Like you're supposed to.
Yeah.
An account doesn't matter. They don't care how much money you put in or take out. It's just an account.
Actually,
It's like a
it
piggy
depends how
bank.
much you take out.
Well, okay. But they'll let you overdraft and then they'll charge you for it.
Oh, yeah.
So they care in a positive way. They're like, yeah, spend your money. Spend all of it and then spend more.
Yeah,
My
then
dad-
pay us all back.
So my dad is a compliance officer. He works at the bank. And the federal government has had to step in and control how much banks can charge people for overdrafts. Because banks were getting out of hand and they were charging people, like you'd overdraft like a McDonald's hamburger and they'd charge you $30. Because you spent money you didn't have, this is our fee. It didn't matter. I could have overdrafted $1,000 and they charged me $30. That's so people were overdrafting very small amounts and getting charged a lot. So that the federal government finally said like this is not okay, and they stepped in to regulate things. So well, he doesn't really do much with the finance side of things, but it was under his control. So let's compare Alex and Mia. So I went this side of the room, solve for Alex. This side of the room, solve for Mia. Figure out how much interest they're gonna make. You guys choose which one you want to solve for, or do both.
I've never done this.
Once you guys can talk with each other. It is not 0.8.
Oh.
It is not.
Guys, can I listen here? Huh?
0.6 this year.
Yeah, exactly.
Mr. Hudson, we don't have a
Mr. Hudson.
Oh yeah, we do. Is it that is 12 divided by 8? 8 divided. Oh, okay.
You don't have to.
Good afternoon, Oriana Creek. Please come to the office. Oriana
Wait
Creek,
for
to the
buses.
office, please. Thank you.
Maybe there's no bus changes.
Till what number should I round?
It's a miracle. No bus change.
To convert into years, and we already talked about this. How much of a year is 6 months? A half. How do you get from 6 to a half? And guys, it's right here. It is literally right here on your notes. I was hoping that you would actually open your eyes and look at your notes. To convert to years, we just divide by 12. So our plug-in here is 8/12 or 2/3. And our plug-in here is 8/12 or 2/3. So how much interest does Alex earn? Hoover, you got it?
It's like $70.08.
Can anyone verify?
That's close.
That's right.
$70.08.
I can actually verify.
Mia makes.
So what number should I write? The 0.6
Use the fraction. Then you don't have to round. What is it? Just give it to me, guys.
It's $50.
And
actually, I have a.
Stop.
Actually, I think different on the Alex one.
What?
I did them both.
It's 78.6.
Yeah,
Mia still has $100.
So just 78.7.
So then to find the balance, we'd have to add to their initial. So hold up. What's Alex's balance now?
Wait, everyone.
2,000.
$3,020.08.
$3,020. You wait, hold on. Or did you guys who solved Alex? Hey, hold up. Guys who solved Alex, we found out there was an error in somebody's calculation. I'm going to verify to triple check, but I believe we now have it written correctly.
It was 3.28.6.
Guys, I still have 2 minutes. Quit freaking out, Louise. This is $78.67.
So I added it when it was $70.08.
So then it should be $30.28.67, I think. Yeah. And then this over here is 3,000. Sorry, no decimals. 3,050. So Mia still has more.
Oh, my Wait, Mia has less. Mia has less.
Mia has less.
Compared to Alex having $3,028.
Look.
No, balance. Balance. So, Alex made more. Mia still has more. Alright, thank you guys. We will probably very quickly zip through the rest of this and then move forward on Monday. Thank you guys. Have a wonderful weekend. Weather's still going to be okay. It's not too cold yet. Get outside and play.
Yeah, I'm doing I'm trying to skate park with one of my friends.
Nice.
This is why I like Ellie.
Yeah, let's do it at lunch or something like that.
Yeah, I should like find my game.
Jeremiah, that was funny when you threw all my game.
But what happened is they'll put in over and that's why like sometimes I don't play with money so I can actually pay off with cash.
Because then it like earns money while you're not there.
Yeah.
That's sweet. That's exactly what investing in a bank does. It earns money while you don't touch it.
And plus it kind of teaches you that you're gonna have to be responsible because I expanded my house but I have to pay that off.
Yeah, exactly. Like that's the ebb and flow of like what do I want to do versus what can I pay for. I've wanted to remodel my bathroom since we moved into our house. I just got it done like a month ago because we finally had enough money. Like,
yeah.
What are you doing? Can I pick that up, throw it away, please? All right, thank you guys. Have a great weekend. Did you need something?
Oh, my grandma, she made a CD for me.
Yeah? What? How long was it?
Probably when I was born, she made it for like $16,000.
Do you still like? If you have it, it'd be interesting if you could like take a picture of it. I don't like. You don't need to because it's a financial thing, but at least look at it. Like ask your parents if you can see it so we could talk about it on Monday.
I'm scared it has less money now.
No, it can't. A certificate of deposit cannot lose money.
In a game?
That's all it does.
Yes.
Yeah.
If this is your phone resting against my guitar,